Welcome in everybody to a Friday night episode of whatever the heck this is. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. And we're going to give it some time, let people get in here before we get too excited. We are indeed. If you're going to catch us on the replay, stick around for a while. It'll get interesting as it always does.
Get ready to rise.
Lawson's in the house. Lawson, how are you today? How you feeling better? All right, let me get that over there. No, you made a new video? I had not. Let me go. Give me a second and I'll see if I can go and find it. I had not. Let me see if I can find it, Lawson. Let's see. The golf one? You talking about the one where you're golfing? This is how I hit every club in my bag. Got the 3-wood, nice. 5 hybrid. That run on gasoline and electricity both. You're doing good. Keep the form up. You'll be a golf pro in no time. Very nice. Very nice job, man. That's a great video. Very good video. You're doing good with it, man. You just keep up the good work. Keep practicing. Before you know it, you'll have a scholarship to the University of Arkansas to go golfing where John Daly graduated. I'm sure you know who John Daly is. He's Arkansas's golf claim to fame. He is indeed. Thank you all for coming in and likes and thumbs ups. It is a cold day. It is 60 degrees where I'm at, so I'm not sitting outside. That's the plan. It's a good plan, man. You got to keep your academics up and keep them strong because a lot of colleges and universities like to give out scholarships, right? But they like to give out scholarships to people that they know can graduate and do well academically. Well, young Mr. Lawson, if you wanted to be like John Daly, you're going to probably gain 300 pounds and become a chain-smoking drinker. So June Torres in the house. Thank you for liking our live stream. Appreciate that. Thumbs up on it. We got 30 people in the background. You guys don't be scared. It's a good place to be. Come forward, drop a chat, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We are here for your entertainment. We can help you solve any problem in the world. We can grow your YouTube channel. You name it, we can do it on this YouTube channel. Margie's TV's in the house. How are you, Margie? Good to see ya. Margie, our YouTube channel finally hit 4,000 subscribers a while back. So we're kind of happy about that. Morning time for you. How are things in the Philippines? June says, keep it up, working on it. William says, hello, good to have you, William. I like it, I like it, I like it like this. My number one goal in the world is solve every problem. We give more free advice out on this channel than any other place in the entire world. We do indeed. We welcome all opinions and thoughts. So, and we thank all you for all of y'all's thumbs up and supporting of our mission to conquer the world of YouTube. Our goal with your help is to make YouTube great again. We want to bring YouTube back to its glory and give it a purpose, give it a mission. Recognize how much work it takes for everybody to be successful on YouTube. You got to do more to be successful on YouTube than any other platform there is. Nazar's in the house, 6575. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Hey, everybody, please go subscribe to my channel. That's right. I just made a new video and would love some subscribers. That's right. Go check out Margie's TV. Go check out Chef Lawson's YouTube channel if you would too. Please subscribe to them. Well, there's our good friend, Wasmeen. How are you? Big YouTube channel himself. Should I turn you blue? I'm going to turn you blue, my friend. If you want to drop your link, if you're blue, you're welcome to. Our good friend there does a lot of live streaming himself, where he helps out a lot of channels grow. So if you guys want, and I've turned you blue, my friend, so Wassman, I turned you blue. There you go. So that way, if you want to drop the link to your channel, you're welcome to do it. June says, I've subscribed right now. Good, good. I appreciate that. So remember, on my channel, if you're blue, you don't have to ask permission to drop a link. You can just do it. Well, June, let me give it some time. I usually never make anybody blue that I haven't visited their channel. So give me a little bit of time, and I'll try to check you out and see how things go. But I have a policy that I usually wait before I make somebody blue. I know everybody else in blue, and I've known them for a long time, is why they're blue. And being blue, really all it does is let you drop your own link. And sometimes you can help control trolls. But on my channel, I really like trolls. I think trolls are great. I think they're a learning opportunity, a teaching moment. So I like when trolls come on and try to say something that I use what they say as a teaching moment. You like the fish? Here. That's technically my wife's fish tank. Just some fancy goldfish, I think, and a Precosmus in there. I'm not for sure what's all in you. Yeah, that's the fish tank. No, right there. Thank you all for giving us a thumbs up as you came in and made a comment. Subscribing to the channel. Doing all that good stuff everybody does. We appreciate it. Yes, my channel is monetized. It is. We've been monetized for a long time. We're currently a little bit over 4,000 subscribers, but yeah, we've been monetized. We stay monetized. So, yeah. We try really hard to support a lot of other channels trying to become monetized, like young Chef Lawson here. We do a lot of charity work with our resources, what we do. We try to do that. We try to help out some communities in the Philippines. It's partly what we do. It's been going pretty good, you know. It's been cold here today, but it's gone all right. It's Friday. You know, my wife's at work, so it's quiet. My dog Lily's tired, so she's laying in the bed. But over the fish tank is Tilly. Really nice, yes. Yeah, it's really nice. It's my wife's. She handles it, keeps up with it. You know, I don't touch it. I've learned, you know, in all my years of being married, sometimes it's easier not to offer help So I just let the wife do her thing on it, and let it be is what I do. So whatever she wants to do is okay with me. You know what I mean? So that's how I do the fish tank. I handle a lot of the other things, but the fish tank is her baby. So, June, it looks like you don't have a YouTube channel. So you're just a support channel, which is great. Awesome. I think there's a whole lot more people than we realize that are just support channels, and they are very, very important to the success of all of us who do have blue channels or have channels. Our good friend Tim is in the house. He has a great YouTube channel for you guys to subscribe to also. It's good evening, Pack. Hello, everybody. So you guys all say hello. And we appreciate that. Lawson's here. Margie's TV's here. It's a cold day in America, Tim. 60 degrees where we're at. Cloudy and 60 degrees. And it's like September the 5th. And it should be like 95 degrees. So it felt great over here. Best weather you've had in a while. I know what you mean. I know. But I hate cold weather. I do. I hate it with a passion. Can't stand it at all. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Have I ever told you guys how much I hate cold weather? All right. Can't stand it. But I did cook some ribs today for my wife. She had a big meetings today at work. So she didn't get organized as well as normal. And so she didn't take as much food with her to work to eat. So I made some ribs so that when she comes home tonight in a few hours, she'll have something really good to eat. It's not warm here today. It's not warm in the Philippines. Is it just hot? Man. Is that where you're going with that, Tim? It's not warm in the Philippines because it's hot in the Philippines? I'm with you, buddy. I am. I do miss, I gotta admit, the one thing I miss the most about the Philippines is the heat. I really do. Knowing, no matter what, I wasn't going to walk out into cold weather. June says, I hate the cold weather. There you go. You like the live stream so far? Good, thank you. Thank you, we appreciate that. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're joining us. I know you work hard doing live streams too. We love people. Look, one thing, people always try to challenge us and troll us a little bit. And one thing I'll say is we love the people from India and Pakistan. I know they don't always get along with each other. We love the people from the Philippines, Japan, China. We love people from all over the world. We respect everybody's culture. We want to learn from their cultures. So we thoroughly enjoy having people from other countries participate into our live streams because I like to learn. This is all about that. How can I help you guys? And along the way, how can I learn things? So one of the people I respect the most is a Pakistani citizen who lives in the Philippines. So, we dig it. We dig it, man. We're glad you're here. 23 Celsius and light rain in the Philippines. All right. Like the live? Good. Thank you. Thank you. June, tell us a little bit about yourself. What part of the world are you living in? Tim is in the Philippines. I do believe Wasman. I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong. I want to pronounce it Wasman. Wasin. It's probably Wasin, right? It's Wasin. Wasin is, I think, in India. Lawson is in America. Let's see. Maria is in the Philippines. So, Liz Cruz says hello. Thank you, Liz. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Encourage you guys to give us a thumbs up, shout out. We're trying to grow our channel so that we can better serve your needs. That's what we're all about. If you guys want to talk about any topic, let me know. If you got questions about anything, any country, anything, what's going on anywhere, let us know. There's a lot of exciting things going on in the world around. We love talking about food on this channel. We talk a lot about movies, and we do talk politics and religion and dogs, because I have dogs. Or I had 2 dogs, now I got 1 dog. We even give a dating advice, hat advices, advice on how to wear cool tropical shirts. Sure. I got a wedding anniversary coming up in a few weeks, everybody. So I got to get mentally prepared for that. I haven't figured out where I'm taking my wife to dinner. I still got to work on that. I was thinking about McDonald's or Burger King, but I don't think she would approve of that. So we'll have to see. Mr. Lawson, our good friend Tim says you need to put up more videos. He does, Tim. He's working on it. So you're right. I tell everybody this. Believe it or not, the best thing you can do is at least upload 1 video a week, right? I think if you want to try to grow your channel, 1, you need to go network like we're doing right now. But 2, you got to put content out there so that people, when they go check out your channel, there's something they can like, subscribe, and share. Because remember, the best way to grow is to make sure people subscribe to your channel the correct way. The correct way is to watch a video or 2, leave a comment or 2, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the alert bell, the all alert bell. Very, very important. So to do that. And so in order to do that, young Mr. Lawson, you need to have more videos so that people can watch and go through your playlist so you get more watch hours. The avid camper's in the house. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you. I'm doing great, man. It's Friday. Beef ribs or pork? Pork. I made pork ribs with a Korean barbecue sauce. I didn't cook them outside on the grill because it was 60 degrees here. So I baked them in the oven, slow baked them. But we did that. Everybody said hello to Avid Camper. They got a YouTube channel themselves. Grumpy Red Panda, gotcha. How are you doing tonight, fella? Cheers. Cheers to you, Grumpy. Good to see you. Just scrolling and seeing who's alive. Well, everybody's alive, I hope. Happy to come over recently. We try to circle back and visit people on a regular basis. I know it's hard for all of us, but I do try to get back. And if I catch you live, I try to get on and help that way. I do. Watching people's channels, helping them grow that way. I mean, seeing his live stream, well, it'd be kind of weird if somebody was dead and live streaming, you know what I mean? That'd be kind of weird. But now, look, we've ran into some people that were drunk on live streams and passed out in the middle of their live streams. So we've seen that before on YouTube. I want to get a fish tank. There you go. One of the small cube ones. All right, yeah, that's my wife's fish tank. She's into that. Not me. I don't care. Since I can't go fishing in it, I don't care about the fish tank. She won't let me fish in it because I got an ultralight, and some ultralight tackle. I could catch those goldfish like that. But she's like, oh, no, not gonna happen, not gonna happen. So I don't get to fish in there, but that's okay. So it's hers. I do think she's starting to, we're hoping to move next year to southern Alabama down to the Gulf of America, is what we hope to do sometime next year. So hopefully by then she'll be kind of burned out on it and I won't have to set it back up in Alabama. Grumpy says, I hope you've had a good night, brother. Ciao for now, dude. Glad you're doing well. A lot of doctor's appointments coming up. I had some this week for my little episode in the ER, but good overall. Staying busy. I got to take my wife out for a fancy dinner later this month, and we got birthdays coming up and Halloween parties and Christmas parties and man, we got all kinds of things going on in the winter months. I just hate winter, but Grumpy, we appreciate you coming in and thumbsing up us and helping us grow our channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Then, of course, remember, if anybody wants to donate $5 million to my channel, I would not hate you for it. It would not offend me if you wanted to donate $5 million to the channel. I just want to make sure. Gaming Labs. Very interesting, Gaming Labs. Good to see ya. I got to turn my ceiling fan on. Gaming Labs, I'm assuming you probably have a YouTube channel. The Professor! Oh, I do. You know. Keep vibing, enjoying life. Yep, you and your wife have an awesome dinner. Thank you. We will. Yeah, we will. So yeah, I would just clarify. I would not be offended at anybody if they wanted to donate $5 million to the channel. I would prefer you to do it to PayPal. That way YouTube doesn't get their 30%. Just keep that in mind. PayPal it. So Gaming Labs has a YouTube channel. Let me guess, gaming. Is it about gaming? Gaming Labs is a good title, actually. I might capitalize the L, but it's a good channel. What part of the world are you out from? Tim says, why stop at 5? Well, because as I told somebody asked me that the other day, Tim. And I said, well, you know, I'm not really greedy. So 5 million would set us up for the rest of our lives, you know. And, you know, I'm just trying not to be greedy. Professor, how are things in the Philippines, my friend? And you guys all remember to like, subscribe, and share to each other's channel. Avid Camper, Gaming Labs, I know you guys all got channels. Tim has a channel, everybody else has channels. So Ronald, guess what, everybody? So as you saw, as the title of this live stream, you know, Mrs. Pack has decided she wants to date. Can you believe that? We've been together 11 years, I think. I don't know. We've been together a long time. And she told me the other night that she wants to date. Can you believe that? Rain, all night. But you're not going to complain about it, are you, my friend? Yo, crazy in the house. Crazy as, what is that? What's that song? Patsy Cline. Crazy for you. Love Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline. Woo! Professor, did you get your internet connection problem fixed? Dates are good for you. Well, you know, the other night, my wife, who, you know, we've been married like 25,000 years, right? She was watching some sappy show on the internet or some crap, I don't know. And she's like, you know, I don't think you ever asked me out on a date. And I'm like, what? We've been married like 27,000 years. What do you mean ask you out on a date? So, to be the great husband that I am, and I am, yeah. The other night, I said, all right, do you want to go on a date with me? It took her about 10 minutes to decide, to be honest, Ronald. She had to think about it. So I don't know what that was all about. So this weekend, we're going out on a date. Lawson says, I'll be right back. I got to go do another golf video. So I'm like, I didn't realize me flying all the way to the Philippines and spending a month with you in the Philippines over Christmas that year wasn't a date. I didn't realize all of that effort and then proposing wasn't a date. So apparently I never asked her out on a date. Patsy Cline could oh man, power. Look, in all seriousness, I think Patsy Cline has one of the cleanest singing voices in the history. I really do. I actually believe that Lady Gaga has one of the cleanest singing voices. So, but Patsy Cline, man, it's smooth as velvet. Tell Lorelai, don't make me spend my kidney surgery money to come back and put her in jail. Yes, that's right. Kidney money. Hey, are you going to come back and have your kidneys worked on, Ronald? Mine's been acting up myself here lately, to be honest. So, Asim says, nice in the house. Thank you for that, my friend. There's a big difference between loud and power. I would agree. And I don't even think, and I think Patsy had power. But if you ever listen to Patsy, her voice was just so, man, even today I listen to her music and go, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I think sometimes when I listen to Lady Gaga, if you can get past the costumes, I go, wow, Lady Gaga has a really good voice too. So, but what do I know? Clear and clean. That's it, man. I'm telling you. So, Ronald, are you coming back to America anytime soon? We're going to go back to the Philippines in 27. Oh, Ronald, I wanted to invite you. Tim already knows about this. Wasim, you're invited too, my friend. We're having Lorelai's 40th birthday party in the spring of 26, next year, a few months from now. We've come up with a budget. She's going to rent a facility. She's already bought a big, beautiful dress. So we're putting on a big 40th birthday party for Lorelai in the spring, and you're welcome to attend, my friend. HTNRN is in the house. Hello, everybody. Everybody said hello to Henry. Good to see you, Henry. How's it going down in your part of the world? It's 60 degrees and cold here, so it sucks. Here, just throw that out there. It's probably warmer where you're at least, which is a good thing. But yeah, Lorelai was like, I saw this thing on YouTube or the internet or Facebook or something, and you never asked me out on a date. And I'm thinking, I flew 7,000 miles, on a freaking jet plane. Hello, Henry. Hey, Henry from the presser. Doing good, nice. But Lorelai and I are going out, so after about 10 minutes of thinking about it, I guess she agreed to go out on a date with me, which is kind of funny. So, so I got to take 78, beautiful, perfect weather. I'd still be fishing at 78 degrees and at the Gulf of America. I'd be fishing like crazy in the Gulf of America at 78 degrees right now. Wouldn't bother me a bit. I'd sit out there fishing. Because I can't fish in my wife's fish tank. But, so we're going to go out on a date this weekend. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to the movies. And a lot of you folks aren't into horror movies. But there's a new Conjuring movie out this weekend. So we're going to go watch that and the Conjuring movie. And I guess I got to pay for the date, right? That was some of the questions from the other night. Since this is technically the wife and I's first date, right? Mrs. Pack's first date with me, technically. Should we go Dutch? Right? First date? When Lorelai, my wife, and I go out to the movies, usually we buy a big buttered popcorn and one drink and we share it. But technically, since this is our first date, I told her, I said, I don't know if I want to share my popcorn with you because I don't want your slobber in my popcorn. Because, it's a first date thing. So the question is, should I share my popcorn with her or make her get her own popcorn? Pat's in the house. Good to see you, Pat. How are you, buddy? Henry said hello to everybody. Don't forget the flowers. And oh, man. Well, I told her I'd pick. Tim, I did tell her. She doesn't like flowers. But I did tell her I'd come and pick her up at her house. Pat says hello to everybody. But should I share my popcorn or make her get her own? That's right. You got the big cruising thing coming up in October, right? Hey, Pat, Tim, everybody's saying hello to each other. Okay. So, but here's my dilemma, guys, because you know how cheap I am, right? Here's my dilemma. If I buy one large popcorn and one large drink, I get it for like $13. If I buy two, that's $26. That's a lot of money. Now, if I buy a small popcorn and a small drink times two, it's still going to run me probably $15 because they overcharge, you know how it is. So I don't know, man. Maybe I just tell her to eat some food before I pick her up. But I don't know if I should be sharing my drinks and stuff with the girl I only go on a date. For the first date, would you share your drink and food with the girl? You know? Pat saying hello to Lawson. Lawson has the new video out on his YouTube channel for you guys to check out. He's a young man doing the right thing, trying to grow his channel. Yes, very nice. So I don't know. That's my question for tonight. I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to pay for the gas. I'm willing to pay for the ticket to the movie, you know, but I don't know about having her slobbering all over my popcorn and my drink. Take her to the dinner first so she won't eat my popcorn, but that's really expensive. I'm not for sure if a first date is worth dinner and a movie, because the movie's like $12 each, plus the drinks, and you know, you can spend like $50 at the movie. I guess we could go to McDonald's and get a dollar meal. Sneak some snacks. We do that sometimes too. But I don't know, Tim. That seems awful expensive. He's a chef and a cook and a golfer. Sounds really expensive to me, man. You know, I don't know, man. That seems awful expensive for a first date. I remember the first date I ever had in my entire life. We went and saw Spies Are Like Us movie. And I fed the girl. And I think it probably cost less than $10. Just saying. Kind of expensive. And I don't want to spoil this girl. Look, you got to be really careful in today's society, because if you watch YouTube at all, and remember, we're all here to make YouTube great again. If you watch YouTube at all these girls, when you take them out to dinner now, are like buying the most expensive steak and getting 7 or 8 take-home orders for their children. You know, they're putting big tips on there that you got to pay for. I don't know, man. That's an awful lot of expense for a first date. I was getting nervous when you said slobber and didn't know they were going to do that. Oh, Ronald. Is that a first date thing? Oh, Ronald. My date was all cheaters in Columbus, Indiana. Indiana promised dates. I mean, all right. Well, I dated a lot as a kid, but God, Ronald. But I don't know. In today's world, it's all over YouTube. Man, these girls are taking advantage of us. And we got to set the right strategy for going forward. I mean, if we spend a couple $100 on these girls on the first date, right? Then they're going to expect more and more and more each date from there. So, but if we only spend like $10, then they only, maybe only want $15 the next time. It's something we got to think about when we go out on dates. We don't want to spoil them. Is one of the biggest mistakes anybody can do, and I know a lot of these girls on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook are all mad at us because we want to meet them for coffee and have a sandwich and get to know them, and all they want is a $500 dinner so they can take food home to their 27 children. I know they're all mad because we won't do that for them, but men go out on a date in modern times. Men still want to go out on a date to get to know the girl. The girls today want to go out on a date to get as much money as they can and see how much money you have. Yep, used to do that, right? Ben, good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up, Ben. Like and subscribing and sharing. I usually have to order for my wife anyway, because my wife is like, I don't know what I want. Anything's fine. Great, we're going to the dog food factory and we're going to get some dog food. You said anything's fine. So if you're married, you know what I mean. But yeah, I'll order for her, a $1.99 hamburger, and that's all you get. So, so I'm just trying to impress you. Hawk 2 girls, that's it, man. Well, I used to be in bands. I was always dating and partying. But now you're old and nobody wants you, Henry. So there you go. What are you going to do now? Because when you get old, that's what happens. You know, the hookers no longer want you, even if you're old, even if you got money. No. I don't know. When we get old, it gets hard. Hard on us. You know, we have to go with the girls that will just put up with us. So, watch bands party. Professor, nothing wrong with that. There you go. The Hawk 2 girl, I think she's in legal trouble and went away, right? So, Henry, I'm with you, man, but who do you date now when you're old? You know, I think dating, obviously, I do think the older you are, the worse dating is, especially if you're in America. I think, because one, who wants to date an old, ugly American girl, right? Because most American women are ugly. So, who wants to date one of them? But two, who wants to put up with them? Or who wants to put up with us? Put up with us. But, I don't know. I got to take this girl I'm going out with Saturday on the cheap, man, so she doesn't expect anything out of me. Now, here's the real question. You set out a budget. Oh, Bye will date you? Okay, still with Bye. So Bye will date you. So it's kind of the same boat. All right, I got you. So now remember, when you finally get to go to the Philippines, you got to ask her out on a date. Because apparently I didn't do that 11 years ago. And now it's come back to bite me in the butt. But if the young lady is, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Oh, no, Pat, I disagree with you. The women in the United States know exactly what they want. They want you to be subservient to them. Dating in the Philippines can be very stressful. Really, Tim, you think so? Seriously, why? Why would you say that, Tim? You're right, Tim. That's an understatement, Tim. Yeah, but here's the question, and I know this is kind of rude and crude, but I know Ronald was already thinking this. But what if they're willing to go further down the road on the first date? Are you willing to spend more money on the girl if she's willing to to be a little bit more Hawk 2-y girl? Do you spend more money? Do you open up the wallet further? You know, if they're willing to be a Hawk 2-y girl? That's what I heard on my side from others. I'm with you, man. No, I'm just giving everybody a hard time. That's my job tonight. Since I got to take my wife out on a date, I get it right. Yeah, you got that right. You know, it's not because of that wrinkly old turtle he has, is it? So, you know, and he has a nice looking girlfriend, apparently. So, you know. Same thing in the Philippines, you know, the more you open up that wallet, the better looking they are, right? $22, yeah, I'm with you, man. Yeah, Tim, you know, I've been hearing, you know, and we've talked a little bit about this. I do think there's somewhat of a paradigm shift happening in the Philippines with that generation of young girls. I do. I think there's a shift in their cultural upbringing. I do. I do. I think there's a shift going on that they are definitely, they know what game they're playing and they want to play the game, I guess. So I do think that there's a big shift going on in the Philippines. And maybe worldwide because of the internet. I don't know, right? But worldwide. I think they figured out something. Or maybe they've got hooked on something, like hooked on phonics. I think a lot of them have figured out, wait, why would I get one guy and maybe have a good life and a good future with them in another country, or they're in the Philippines, right? Or I can just scam a bunch of guys and keep making money and not have to put up with the guys, right? I can run them off after a while. I can, they don't need to know about all of my other boyfriends. So I think that's become more acceptable versus the family value type belief that used to happen. So I think that's going on in the Philippines a lot more than we, as an older generation, probably know and understand. I see it. With talking to people. I see it with people girls in America. These young girls that are coming new to America, meeting these guys even. I see some of that. There are a lot of gold diggers and scammers, but they're also coochie chasers and ass grabbers. So supply and demand. Yeah, you're right about that, Ronald. If there's a lot of scammers, there's a lot of you can't have one without the other. That sounds like Married with Children. You can't have one without the other. But I absolutely agree with you. And I don't know, but I think there's always been the men that have been bad forever, right? So I think that's been going on forever. The men being ass grabbers. But I think maybe the women have learned from that and going, oh, well, that's all you want, so that's all we're going to do. So it's kind of like tit for tat, maybe. I don't know. Pat agrees with you. Gaming Labs is back and says, I'm back in the house. I'm back in the house. Thank you for letting me come in and join y'all. I will donate $5 million to your YouTube channel because you're awesome. Oh, I appreciate that, Gaming Lab. That's very nice of you. So I agree. I just wonder if the girls are starting to go, men are doing it to us, so why don't we do it to them? I don't know. But you and I, we think a lot alike, and we all know that we don't like either side of the coin. But I don't know. My wife grabs my ass a lot. Is she an ass grabber then? My wife. That girl I'm going out with tomorrow, and she's always hitting on me, flirting with me and crap. I don't know, man. I got to be careful on my date tomorrow that I don't lead this girl on and let her think she's gonna, come live at my house and live in my cars and, there's nothing new under the sun. Well, you got that right. There's never been a truer statement than there's nothing new under the sun. Because this has been going on since the dawn of man. Men hustling women, women hustling men. Whether it's to get the guy, to get out of the cave and go kill a dinosaur and bring the dinosaur back, so they can all eat, shake that booty so he go kill the dinosaur, or kill the dinosaur so that the girl will make you a new dinosaur vest. I don't know. Make sure I take protection. Yeah. That's what I mean. I might, I don't want to get the cooties, telling you. Man, I don't know. See the trouble I get into? And if you would think after being married 11 years, I wouldn't get into trouble like this. Just kind of crazy. Crazy. But we're going to go watch the Conjuring movie. There's a new scary horror flick from the Conjuring series out. So we're going to go watch that tomorrow, if all humanly possible. So it's what we're doing. You got to take a lot of protection, right? Should I should I be like and get a plastic barrier in my car so that she can't reach over and touch me like during COVID times? Maybe I can get a bubble suit to wear, or bring disinfectants. Do you think a girl would be offended? What do you think? If you went out on a date with somebody, right? And they brought their own disinfectant wipes and wiped everything down that you touched or that they touched, would you be offended by that? I saw that supposedly on the internet the other day about the the North Korean leader. They were saying he is so scared of somebody getting his DNA that he makes people go behind him and disinfect and wipe everything down. So, but if you went out on a date with a young lady or young man or whatever the hell it is, these days and age, you can't tell a man from a girl anyway. Would you need this? Would you do that? Ooh, I like that, Tim. I should do that. I will do that. She will kill me, but I'm going to do that. I swear to God, I'm going to do that. Not that I got to work, but I got to think. I'm going to call her, and maybe I should call her and tell her, say, look, I got to cancel because my wife found out that I'm going out on a date with you, and she got really mad about it. So that's a good one, Tim. Say, I got to wash my hair. I got to wash my hair. Well, I think that's what they were saying earlier about protection. About protection, So, do we need protection on the first date these days? Well, if you watch YouTube, you don't, because the women just want the free food to take home to their 39 children. But there's Lynn's. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Everybody say hello to Lynn. Great YouTube channel herself. Growing strong. Good to see you. Everybody say hello to them. The Lynn's in the house. Say hello, everybody. Give her a thumbs up, shout out. All of that. When's the last time you went out on a date? That's the next question for anybody. When's the last time you had to go out on a date? I have to go out on a date tomorrow. What I'm really upset about is my wife is letting it happen. I don't understand that. If my wife was a good wife, she's like, no, you can't be going out on a date. You ain't having no first date with anybody. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. That is my job now, right? I make a whole $50 a month. Woohoo! Rock on, baby. $50 a month. I'll spend more than that on the date. God, how horrible is that? My job pays me $50 a month, and I'm going to blow it that plus some to go to the movies and have popcorn. That's pathetic, man. I tell you what, I'm going to go into debt so bad it's unbelievable. Hope I don't got to go out on a second date. Lynn, everybody saying hello to you. Thank you. I don't know, guys. When's the last time you've been out on a date? How much money did you spend on your last date? HTRN, hello there. Way to our channel. Hello. I don't know, man. Man, I don't know. I thought me flying all the way to the Philippines, spending a month there, living in a luxury resort, going out to dinner every day, traveling all over the Philippines. I thought that was a date, 11 years ago. But apparently, me no date. I mean, she got an engagement ring out of it, so I don't know how that works. Can you get an engagement ring without dating? Is that possible? I'm going to have to, somebody needs to help me out with that one. Can you go, like from A to Z without going to B and E or whatever, So Henry says, thanks a lot, appreciate you. I usually spend less than 2,000 pesos for a date. Ooh. So 2,000 pesos is what in American money? 1,000 pesos, 550 pesos, about 20 bucks, right? Maybe 20 bucks. Henry says the last date he went on cost around 150. Wow, that's pretty cheap. Horrible. Horrible. Why do we got to pay? You know, shouldn't they feel blessed that we asked them out on a date, and shouldn't they pay for us? But in this case, it wouldn't do me any good. But, right? Don't you think the women should ask us out? And then they should pay for our date? And then we can buy 10 different extra dinners and take home and put in the freezer? Really, Tim? In Korea, you can rent a ring. Seriously. I know, like in Japan, and maybe Korea, you can rent a girlfriend. And I don't mean a prostitute. I mean, you can rent a girlfriend. Somebody who's going to pretend that they're your girlfriend. I know they have a thing like that. I know in Japan for sure, because I've seen it, where you can rent a girlfriend for the day or the week, which is, I don't know, kind of creepy in itself. I know you can rent a suit, gas, food, drinks, and hotel. All right, there you go. Less than $40? That's not horrible, Tim. Yeah, if you think about it, do you factor in for the cost of a date, do you factor in car insurance, gas, cleaning the car, how much it costs you to clean the car, clean clothes, washing our clothes, our time? We should get paid for our time to go out on dates with some of these girls, trust me. There's been many dates that I went on to many thousands of years ago before Lorelei that those girls should have paid me for giving them my time, because I regretted it. It was like work. I went home feeling, oh my God, exhausted putting up with some of them girls. So, wow, you can rent a ring. You can rent a girlfriend. Maybe we need to start a business in America. Renting boyfriends. Maybe that could be a success. Because all these women complain they don't have boyfriends. So, but maybe we can start a business where they can rent boyfriends. Your time is priceless. That's right. Lynn says, I'm done to you, Tim. I signed up, like, subscribe, and share to you. We appreciate that. Lynn, are you single? Are you a single Filipina? Do you got men chasing you down to date you? How much would you expect for a guy to spend on you in the Philippines? That's a good question. I wonder what people in the Philippines, girls in the Philippines, think the guy should spend on them in the Philippines versus what the girls in America think the guy should spend on them. That's a gigolo. Just a gigolo. Well, but a gigolo indicates sex. In Japan, the girls don't put out. The rental girlfriends don't put out. She's a single mom, so she's single, ready to mingle. Bruce Bigelow is fully booked now. That's right. Thank you, Lynn. Evan, good to see you. Can I sing? I can, but it's going to cost you $5 million. Just saying, if you want me to sing, it's going to cost you $5 million. But yeah, that's a good difference, because otherwise in Japan they would be, hookers, right? But the girlfriends have I think it's even a no touchy contract. Was I watching this thing in Japan about Japan? But when they rent the girlfriend, they have to sign an agreement that it's like there's no touching. Hello, Pat from Lynn. She's single, by the way. Pat's single. And Pat likes children, Lillian, just saying. But Lillian, how much would you want a guy an expat, to spend on you on your very first date in the Philippines? How many pesos would you think would be appropriate? Because I think American women in America think that the guy needs to spend about $10,000 to be appropriate. I'm a good distance singer. The farther away I am, the better I sound. And I know, and you sound great from here. Pat saying, hello, young lady. Hi, my name's Pat. I live in America and I am single if you want to get to know each other. Just thought I'd ad lib some of that for you, Pat. You know. Lalynn says, can you share a word of the day? You want a word for today? You want me to give a word of the day? Is that what you're asking? My word of the day is dating or date. If it needs to be simpler, date. D-A-T-E. Like going out on a date with your girlfriend. Yep, they have a contract for written girlfriend. They sure do. They sure do. Crazy, crazy. I also saw this thing about how fake Japanese women are now. How they really don't look like if you take off all their makeup and their high heel shoes and their stuff, that they actually don't look anything like they look like out in public. I was seeing that the other day. I'm like, well, that's funny. That's kind of like American women. You go out with them and you go, wow, these women are attractive. You marry to them, they turn in Frankenstein. She doesn't have to put out, I'm just putting it out. Ronald, I got to see my heart doctor on Monday, man. You know, don't make me go early. Don't make me go early. Don't make me go early. I got a heart doctor appointment on Monday, man. We got to get ready to change my pacemaker out and figure out why I'm having heart problems. Lynn says, wow, thank you. Anytime, man, anytime. Happy to help. I am indeed. I think it is, Tim. I think you're right. I don't think dating. That's a Floridian slip. Man, get us all in trouble for that one. Dating in today's world is anything like it used to in the past. I think it truly is a business deal or transaction, like you said. It really does seem, look, yeah. And I think it's all about, it's more like a job interview. How much money do you make? Where do you work? What kind of skill set do you have? Are you going to be able to buy me new nails every month? What? Nails? What do you need nails for? Just go down to Lowe's and get your own damn nails. I don't know what the problem is. But I think a lot of it is that way. It is very transactional. And what a lot of people, I think a lot of people, maybe worldwide, so I don't know. I think they screw the pooch on this. They worry about how much money is coming on the front end. The first date, the guy better, I watch some of these things where these women talk about, oh man, for me to date the guy, he's going to need to make $200,000 a year. An American. They're going to need to make, what the average salary in America is? $60,000 a year. So they want somebody to make $200,000 a year. Well, hello, it's not going to happen, right? One, you're not worth $200,000 a year. So otherwise, if you were worth $200,000 a year, wouldn't you already have a date? So, it's kind of like give it to me up front versus an investment long term. Make her sign a pre-dating. Ooh, now maybe that's a business we should start. Contracting, writing up pre-dating contracts. What you can ask for, what you can expect to receive, and do negotiate. Maybe that would be a good business, right? Oh my goodness. But women, they're not smart today. They're overshooting themselves. And that's why a lot of men give up and go, look, I don't want to put up with a girl who thinks I should make $200,000 a year so they can sit on their ass and watch YouTube and paint their nails. We want a life partner, right, is what we want. Men still want this. Women, a lot of times, especially American women, just want a caretaker. But that's a good business, Tim. Maybe we'll have to start doing that. Make some money that way. I'll probably get banned off the internet now. Said, you're too judgmental. You're not very nice YouTuber. How dare you say that we don't deserve a $200,000 guy? And I love watching the video of that one guy. I can't remember his name, but that one guy takes phone calls from women and they talk about what they want and what they expect. And then he kind of says, well, what do you have to offer? Oh, wait, you're 300 pounds. You have 8 children by 8 different guys. But yet the guy is supposed to have 200 grand a year. Why would he want you? Thomas says hello to everybody. How are you, Thomas? Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah, it's like a prenup, but pre-dating. I get you. But I think you got to work out the parameters for what restaurant, how much to be spent. You know, the girl's going to come in and going, well, you need to be able to spend $500 on dinner because I got to take food home to my children. You're going to need to drive a Lamborghini to work, to the dinner, to the restaurant, so that I can take selfies with it. So all of my friends think I'm rich. You know, what negotiation are we going to do? You know, the guys are going to be going, no, look, you know, we need to meet at a coffee house and have a donut together and see if we actually like each other. You know, well, I got to head out. Everybody take care. I'll see you later. I'm down in the great state of Mississippi eating snow. So, oh, it ain't snowing in Mississippi yet. It's raining down yonder, maybe. Henry's having good weather today. He said he's in the 70s while I'm in the 60s, freezing to death. So everybody, and Henry has to get ready to go what they call, what do you call that again, Henry? Cruising the Coast is in October, right? It's October, where they do a great big car event. And is it just in Mississippi, or does it expand over into Alabama and Louisiana? I know it's in Mississippi. Pat says, take care, Henry. We will see you down the road, Henry. So you get that? You got that? Henry's getting ready for the car thing, and I said, Pat said, I'll see you down the road. Gotta get that. See how witty I am? All 3 states, okay. You got a date for it, Henry, before you leave? What's the date, October or what? It looks like a very cool event. If you're in that part of America, a lot of great restaurants, shops, a lot of really cool looking things going on with that event. Tim says, back in a few minutes, I got to go find some money so I can take my girlfriend out. So, oh my goodness gracious, great balls. The first 2 weeks of October, all right. First 2 weeks of October. You gotta like old cars. All of us like old cars. Oh my goodness. So Pat, how's everything going in your part of the world? You got rain today or did you get decent weather? I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeding the birds and the hummingbirds, so weather's changing. All the birds are going crazy. Tried to rain, but you didn't get any. Same thing here. All right, Henry, have fun. Take care. They're saying my part of the woods is going to be horrible weather-wise this winter. We're going to have a north and a south front right on top of us. So they're saying there's a really good chance that my part of the world is going to get, if there are storms, we're going to get the storms. Northern part of America is going to be getting a lot of bad weather. The southern part of Americas is going to be getting warmer than average temperatures, less rain, warmer than average. The north is going to get a lot more rain and storms, and it's going to be a lot colder. And the boundary where the two hit is right above my house. But we'll see how bad it gets this winter. Good thing is, we have a heater. Wow, you're under a tropical cyclone alert. Wow, for the next 8 hours. Wow. So you must be getting some big storms and they're worried about one kicking up. That's what the alert is all about. Well, hopefully you won't get any. It'll just rain and, settle down for you there. We don't want you guys to have any damage in the Philippines. We survived Super Typhoon Odette, and we know it can be a little rough after storms in the Philippines. But they are saying that we're going to get ice. We're literally in that war zone between the North and the South this winter. And there's a good chance that about a 100-mile radius of our border is going to get hammered, north and south, but across the whole entire country. All the way from the Colorados to the East Coast. We'll just have to see how it goes, but that's kind of what we're looking for. Thinking of the East Coast, the big news in America today is Savannah, Georgia. Apparently they got a Hyundai battery factory that it was raided by ICE today, and they arrested and detained 450 people. A lot of them are illegals, and a lot of people were just criminals or had warrants out for their arrest. So I have one battery factory in Savannah, Georgia. They shut the facility down and hauled off 450 people were detained. Some were cited and released. The last alert didn't get any rain. Oh, that's good. That's good. So you think it's just a big precautionary then, Tim? Which is good. So that's been in the news today. That's our big news in America. It's all over the internet, all over the TV. 450 people detained at a Hyundai battery factory in Savannah, Georgia. So kind of crazy, man. Could you imagine that? Must have been one big group of ICE people. They show videos of all of these people running through the factories trying to get away. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's just crazy. It's crazy in America. It's crazy in America. It is indeed. What are you going to do but have fun? NFL starts this weekend, if you didn't know, in America. If you like pro football, it starts last night, going on tonight and all weekend. College starts again tomorrow, Saturday, of course, if you didn't know that, college football. So there's a lot of fun things going on for those who like sports. I'm just excited that I'm going to go to the movies tomorrow. I just got to take a date with me, apparently. I really like the Conjuring movie series. If you don't know who that is, Ed and Patricia Warren, Ed and Joan Warren, Ed and somebody Warren. The Warrens, the ghost hunters or paranormal activities, demon hunters. Their latest movie's coming out, so very excited. Love those movies. I've been rewatching the old ones to get ready for this weekend. So I'm all caught up. I'm all prepared. I know who the characters are. Know what's going to go on at the movie theater. So I went fishing last night. I didn't take you guys fishing with me, by the way, but I went fishing up at our other little area. I didn't take you guys fishing with me. I just walked around the area. It was a small area and fished for about 2 hours. Had a good time. Wow, I didn't see the Amazon one. 80% were illegal. Wow. It doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't, Tim. Which I think is really weird, right? because I think this is really, really weird. These companies know that the government's cracking down, right? So you would think that their HR departments would be working hard to re-verify everybody's legal employment versus sitting there saying, well, we vetted them when they were hired, so therefore we don't need to do that. When they know that there's been a lot of fake documents that has happened over the years. A lot of people have been able to obtain fake documents. So you would think these companies, instead of having 80% of the workforce in their factory out, or 450 people detained, that an HR department is what I would do if I had a company and knowing what's going on, I would have my HR director re-vetting every freaking employee to make sure they were legally hired and had the paperwork ready. If ICE came in and said, David's an illegal, I would want them to be able to prove, no, he's not. Look, here's his paperwork. So don't sue me. Don't attack my company, because if David is illegal, then he's the one that falsified all of these documents and submitted this to us. We verified everything, so therefore the verification process is the problem with the government. So somebody in the government is the one who's verifying all these illegal rights to work. So it's on the government, is how I would do it. Say, look, I just, asked the government if this person was illegal, and you guys said he was. And now he's not, so not my problem. It's your problem, the government. Oh my God, I just found proof of cloning, and this is not the first one. Who, Ronald? Tell me more. Besides Dolly the sheep, who did we clone this week? Don't clone my wife. I can only afford to go out once. Yeah, you have to get verified, right? But if my verification, if I'm the guy, if I'm you, and I'm able to hustle and get fake documents and submit them to the government, and the government doesn't do a good enough job vetting me to prove that I'm not legal, then it's really not Amazon's fault. As long as Amazon did their due diligence. So maybe the companies aren't getting in trouble. Maybe the government is saying, look, we know our government has been lying, or people have been taking money under the table to let this go, like in Kentucky, about the driver's license you could get for $200. If you're an illegal in Kentucky, you can get a driver's license for $200. So it's not necessarily, but I think it is the company's fault. But it's the government's fault. Lena Horne and Alicia Keys, they're both dead. Lena Horne, I know Alicia Keys is dead. Didn't she die of an overdose? And that Horne chick was the mean lady, right? Yeah, the Lena Horne, maybe not. I'm probably talking out my ass. Ooh, yeah, all right. Lena Horne was died in 2010. American singer, actress, dancer, and civil rights activist. I'm Googling it. I gotta type the buttons. You thinking they're one and the same? Ronald, are you suggesting that the two women look alike? Boy, that's a close one. I don't know. I don't think they look. Well, I think they're close. I think they're close, Ronald. I'll give you that. And I mean 90%, but I don't think they're 100%. So maybe they did a variation in the cloning. Tim's like, yeah, they look a lot alike. I agree. There's definitely some difference, but it's kind of like, Johnny Depp and some old guy. Kentucky teach him how to hillbilly or to redneck? Maybe it doesn't teach him anything. It just says, hey, give me $200 and I'll give you a driver's license. And they are definitely cracking down, if you guys didn't know, which I'm sure you do, on the truck driving world. Well, again, today they were showing where they've been arresting people at truck stops and way stations. And the number of trucks, the number of trucks that are skipping way stations have gone up, apparently. I wonder, Like I said, in the last 2 weeks, the number of semis passing opened way stations are on the rise. I wonder why that is, you know? But yes, I don't know, man. It's just crazy, right? But they do look a lot alike. They're both pretty girls. But I don't know. The coincidence seems right. But I go back to this genetic thing, the genetic pool. And Ronald, you might have a point that we're all cloned, right? You know, if you go back, maybe, you know, we are all variations of like 10 different people. And just a little variations going on, right? And so we all have doppelgangers or body doubles or people that we look so much alike. And why they're both singers and civil rights activists is because that's part of what the DNA coding is for that model of human. You know, it's there's an actor, Johnny Depp, is supposed to look something like some actor from the 1930s. Same thing, right? There's a couple of politicians that look almost identical that I saw. So you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. Maybe it's the gene pool is so small, the genetic pool. There's not. I mean, look how many people on this channel that come in and say, "Hey, you look like this guy from Germany," or "Hey, you look like that Brian guy," or "Hey, you look like this guy." Hey, you sound, you know. Maybe I am because we're all the same. Pat says, I heard they're gonna turn the dead into robots. Ew, wouldn't that be a zombie? How are they gonna turn the dead into robots? Ew, yuck. Then they would just be mechanized zombies. And then they would stink and smell. Because I know you guys may not know this or not, but dead people stink. I'm just saying. Not to pick on dead people, but dead people stink. Dead people do not smell good at all. And that's what you hear. So, because, you know, I had to do some environmental consulting work where there was a dead person and they stink. I still remember that smell. All right, send me a closer look. All right. I was looking on the internet, Ronald. Let me see what you got going on here, brother. All right, I'm looking at the closer look. I mean, I agree, man. They are a lot alike. I see a little bit of a difference. I can't tell the shape of the earlobe because that's usually a big key there. You know, I can't tell that on a close-up on this. And then the jawline looks a little different. The smiles are slightly different. But, man, I'm telling you, they are close. And that's right, Tim. I don't worry about being cloned. They don't want to make the same. Well, there you go. Ah, but it also says it was edited with AI. Look, that picture was edited with AI. It's kind of like over the weekend or last week, whenever it was. When they were talking about how somebody was throwing a bag outside the White House. And it came out that, well, you can't throw anything out the window of the White House because the windows weigh 600 pounds. They're bolted shut. They're bulletproof. So you can't open a damn window in the White House if you wanted to or not. But the video looked really, really convincing. A doppelganger, right? Isn't that what they call them, a doppelganger? Yeah, well, and we know from history that Saddam Hussein had body doubles. Hitler had body doubles. Absolutely. I have a body double. He's apparently very wealthy in Germany, but he won't give me any of his money. So I think body doubles are pretty common, or there's people that could pass for a body double. I really do. Maybe I could get a body double to go out with my wife tomorrow. Trump never opened a window in the White House. Right, but the video looks like, it wasn't whether it was Trump or somebody else. It looked like they were showing somebody throwing something out of a window. But apparently you can't open the windows in the White House. You know, so the amazing thing, I guess my point about this is, Ronald, the amazing thing that we can do with AI technology now, man, this stuff can fool anybody. Because there's so many videos out on the internet now that you look at and go, is that real? Is that a real video? Is that a real girl? Is that a real video? Or is that AI? You know, it's really hard to distinguish between AI, a really good AI, and reality. It just is. So, interesting. AI. That was recorded from across the street. The opening of the window was at a different facility. Is that what you're saying? And they were just saying it was the White House? Kim Jong-un has a double. I don't doubt that. And you got to feel bad for that body double, because that's one ugly dude. I hate to make fun of him because he's a fat guy like me, but he's one ugly dude. You know, you got to feel sorry for his wife. You know, I guess his sister is going to be the next leader of the world, I guess, or of their world. But yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that's what I thought. They were saying that they recorded it from one of the buildings across the way, across the street. So one, you got to ask yourself, you'd have to have a really good camera system to get in that close. But yeah, you got to feel really bad for the citizens of North Korea, because I don't think they know how bad they have it. You know what I mean? I wonder. I wonder about that. You know, as a humanitarian in the world, Do you think the people of North Korea have any clue how bad they have it? Or are they under the impression that they have it good? That's what I wonder. I wonder if the people of North Korea go, wow, we have the greatest leader in the world. Because if we have the greatest country in the world. We are the richest people in the world. We have everything anybody could ever dream of. We have the greatest technology in the whole entire world. I wonder if the people of North Korea are under that impression. I really do wonder that. Do they know the truth? Or do they know, okay, look, we don't know what the truth is, but we know that we're not, great. Only Trump and a Fox News, of course, only Trump and Fox is doing it. Everybody else has to say it's legit. But if you can't open the window, you can't open the window. But of course, Fox News is the only one that likes Trump. So of course, they're going to be the only ones. Everybody else is so bugged out about him that they're going to do everything they can to try to. It's like they were saying that he died over the weekend. Did you hear that, Ronald? Apparently, we're getting ready for a state funeral because Donald Trump died over the weekend. Until he showed up for work on Monday or Tuesday. So I thought that was funny. The brother was murdered. He was murdered in Korea. Sorry. He was murdered in South Korea, right? Or Japan. He was murdered. He was murdered in an airport. They can do the voices, everything. It's cool, crazy, scary. Yeah, at the airport, but I don't remember which country it was. But he was murdered at the airport. I mean, that's one creepy little guy. Weird. And it's weird how, and look, I'm really not that interested in what his body looks like, but the way he dresses all the time, I wonder if he's not a girl or something. I don't know. He dresses you guys remember Saturday Night Live? You remember the character on Saturday Night Live called Pat? Remember Pat from Saturday Night Live? He reminds me of Pat from Saturday Night Live. Okay, Tim, nice. So Kim Jong-un reminds me of Pat from Saturday Night Live. If you guys remember that character, that's what he reminds me of. Because you really can't tell if it's a boy or a girl. Yeah, Pat, him or his sister, that's right. So that's what he kind of reminds me of, right? Because you never see him wearing, it just, I don't know. But apparently his sister's not a bad-looking lady. His children aren't bad-looking, if those are his children. But I often wonder, is he wearing a fat suit, to be like Pat? And maybe that's really his, sister. And maybe Kim Jong-un has been murdered and the sister is really pretending to be him. I don't know, man. But it's just weird how he dressed so, Pat-like all the time. And the haircut. Who cuts their hair like that? Missy's channel's in the house. How are you, Missy? Good to see ya. How have you been, young lady? Everybody say hello to Missy and her channel. It's good to have you. Thank you for the thumbs up tonight. We appreciate that. Hey, what's going on in your world? Anything exciting on your channel going on? You can drop the link to your channel if you want, because you're blue. Pat saying hello to you, young lady. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming in, Pat says. I've been dreaming about you. Dreaming and scheming, going and going. Well, you might have to unsubscribe, resubscribe, and hit the alert bell. But hopefully I'll pop up in your notifications. I don't know why I don't see you in the live section, but I will check more often. Yeah, we do a lot of lives. We do a lot of lives, so maybe YouTube just doesn't want to share me out to the good channels. Hey, Missy's channel. Brother was killed in Manacled, China. Okay, China's airport. I thought it was. Okay. All right, China's airport. Okay. Are your cute fish asleep? They are. That's where they go to sleep, is that corner. You see them? Now that one there is awake. But for the most part, they are asleep. I'm going to make a live play list so that way I can just easily check cause the live section feed thing's not working. Oh, all right. Yeah, I got a playlist myself of all of our lives. Missy misses having fish. Well, you can go down to the local fish market and pick some up, you know. They may not swim very well, but you can have some fish. Yeah, my wife takes care of those fish. I'm not allowed to touch them. I don't feed them. I don't do anything. Every time, the only thing I do when she says, oh, I want to buy more fish, I say, I think our tank is too small because of the mathematical formula. Each fish is supposed to have X amount of gallons. And so I think that tank is too small. So that's my job, you know. Yeah. Not set up very well to have a nice tank, not enough space. My dogs will bump it. Yeah, my dog Daisy who died, my black and gray, my black and tan wiener dog, she would jump up on the cushion right here in front of the tank and sit there and bark at the fish. So, oh, I believe that, Ronald. I believe that. I think, I don't, and I don't like to use these words or, I think he would be I think his IQ is below 70. So, if you know what I mean, without being disparaging to anybody else who has those afflictions, you know what I mean? I think Kim Jong-un is truly, his IQ might be below 70. And if you guys all know, you know what that means. I just don't like using those words. He's a special needs child. Fish are so smart to see where they stare down animals. I know. And they're like, yeah, bring it on, baby, come on. But yeah, my dog would sit there and get up there and bark at them, and they would just like, you know, yeah, ha, 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 you can't do anything about it. And Daisy would just go, roo, roo, you know, be all crazy. So I'd agree with you. The sister has to be the brains of the organization, everything. She has to be the intelligent one, because I don't think he has the mental. And why I say that is because of how his father treated him. His father knew this, right? And so, if you look back in history, the daddy was like, you know, you need to go sit in the corner and play with your Lego blocks. But North Korea can't handle having a female leader at this point in time, so they've had to go this other route. Well, Missy, you know, you can get a small aquarium and get one fish, like a betta fish, and put that in there and enjoy a betta fish that way, of one fish. But bettas, if you put two in there, they'll fight with each other, the fighting fish. He is the front man. But I don't think he's, God, I just hate using bad terms, Ronald, but he's the front man. I, yeah. And I think he is so far below the threshold that he really believes that he's not the front man. You know what I mean? That he really thinks people love him and he's God and he's controlling the country. I feel bad putting it in a bowl. I think it would be sad. I would agree. I'm one of those ones that believe this too. I'm a guy about pets, and I think fish ought to be free to be eaten by other fish and roam the world and seas. But my wife likes the fish tank. I wouldn't do a fish tank myself. The same thing with pets, my dogs. If you can't take care of a dog and really take care of it, then don't get a dog. I'll do it for you, says the professor. Nice. He's as smart as a can of sardines. There you go. Yeah. You know. And I think it reminds me of, he reminds me of somebody with Down syndrome when people wave at him. You know, he's like, oh my God, somebody's waving at me. They like me. Oh, you know, I mean, it really kind of comes across that way. That he doesn't know that they're all scared to death that the sister's going to cut their heads off if they don't wave at him. What, Lily? So I don't know. But yeah, I'm a free range fisher too. I would grow plants in the fish tank instead of fish. But I'm kind of over having fish tanks. You know, kind of burned out on them. I've had them for years off and on, and Lorelai wanted this one, so we bought her this one, and I'm hoping by the time we move to Alabama, she's burned out on it, so we don't got to do these again. But I would rather turn them into an terrarium and grow plants. Someone criticized me for getting a baby stroller for my aging, we have one out in the garage, for my aging poodle with arthritis so we can still go by. She likes me. We have one. We have a 2-dog stroller because Daisy, you know, she died now, which I still miss my doggie, but she had a heart problem and Lily got ran over by a car and has a club foot now. And so we got a stroller and we put them in there and they loved it. And we would take them to the park, take them down to the water and take them places. And I'll tell you a funny story about this. Before Daisy died in Alabama, we were on a trip to Alabama when she died. Lorelai and I went fishing at a pier, right, in Alabama. And we took the girls with us, the dogs, in their baby carriage. And Lorelai and I are fishing, and the baby carriage is kind of set up against the wall where the dogs can look out to the water, because they kind of like to know what's going on. But we were like 10 or 15 feet away from the dogs, not very close to the stroller, to the doggy thing. And we had these people come over, and you could tell right away how they approached us, that they thought there was a baby in the stroller and that we weren't paying the baby any attention because we were so far away. We were just leaving this damn baby out in the heat, and and they come over and they came to Lorelai because nobody ever talks to me. Everybody's too scared of me. So they come over to Lorelai and goes, oh, are you catching any fish? How is your little one doing? And Lorelai looked at her like, what? What the hell are you talking about? And then they move their way around and look in there and hear our dogs going, "Roar!" You know, like, you know, like, you dumbass women, go away. You know, don't be bothering our dogs. So it was really funny. They thought there was a baby in this baby stroller. But it's our dogs. And our dogs didn't like them coming close to the stroller. So teach them nosy ass Karens. Mind your own damn business, Karen. If we want to take a baby fishing and throw it out in the water and use it as bait, we will. So there. But we have one. You know, Lily has a broke foot, a club foot, and Daisy couldn't go very far because of her bad heart. We have no problem. We take them. I don't care what anybody says. We're going to do what we want in life, whether anybody likes it or not, Missy. Just saying. Pat says there ain't nothing wrong with that. You put a dog in a stroller if you want to. Yeah, you should do it, boys. Oh, yeah. Sassing people. Man, sassy ass people. I can do it, man. Let me tell you. I'll sass them. But I thought it was funny because they were trying to be crafty, trying to be a little sneakative, going up to Lorelai and, oh, well, how is your, your baby doing or your child, And Lorelai's looking at him like, what in God's creation are you freaking ass talking about? And Lorelai didn't say anything because she's stunned. And then they try to like walk over and sneak a peek in the stroller. And the dogs are like, come on, bitch. So, oh, it was funny. It was just funny. Too funny. But that's all right. They're like, we're going to go teach that Filipina how to raise children in America. By God, we're not going to let her get away with abandoning a baby in America. How dare her be 10 feet away, 15 feet away. Yeah, the dogs told them, that's for sure, because our dogs are dogs are very territorial. They don't like anybody getting close to them they don't know. And they don't want anybody invading Lorelai's space or my space without us knowing and making it okay. And so our two dogs, even with a bad heart and a bad foot, we're going to rip them a new asshole. So, oh, God. You got to love Karens. You got to love it know-it-alls. Busybodies, bossy women. You got to love them all. So, but that was fun. That was fun. But we have a doggy carrier. We bought it off of Amazon for like $60. It's pink. Is why we got it so cheap, because apparently nobody wanted the pink color. So we got it really cheap. The blue one and the gray one and the green ones were like $120. But the pink one nobody wanted, so we got it for $60. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you think they think you got a person in yours because how they sit up. Yeah. The floppy. Yeah, I'm with you. Our dogs love being in the doggy carriage. They really do. They like being pushed around. Our dogs are lazy. They're like, oh, yeah, you're going to put me in here and you're going to do all the pushing. I ain't got to do any walking, but I get to smell and see. Hell yeah, you get it pushing. Our dogs love to be pushed in the cart. I'm just telling you. They're like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We got a nice little cooling pad and a pillow and windows. Man, you just take us all around, give us some ice cream once in a while. Our dogs think they're in heaven when they're in the thing. I'm just saying, man, they are rock solid when it comes to hanging out in the cart. They don't mind it at all. Now when we catch a fish, Daisy, the one that passed away, she always wanted to bite the fish. She has this thing that for some reason she always wanted to bite on the fish. And so if a fish got too close to her, she would want to bite it. But other than that, it was the first time, and at first she was like, what on the earth is this? But when I took her down the road, she was like, oh yeah, I know. That's the way ours was. The first time we put them in there, they're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I like this. But ours is big enough for both dogs, both wiener dogs, to be in the same one. But after about 2 minutes of being pushed, they'd even be to the point that if you quit pushing them, they'd get mad and go, I want to go further. Spoiled, rotten doggies. So I'm with you there. All right, my fellow friends, fellow YouTubers, experts, and great smart people as we all are. It's 9:45 here. I got to get some rest so that I can go out on a date tomorrow with the woman I'm married to. Remember, the highlight is this. Apparently, I've never asked my wife out on a date, so now I had to ask her out on a date. And now I got to take her out on a date. So I got to get some rest so that I can take her out on a date tomorrow to go see a movie, which is probably going to cost me a bunch of money. She's probably going to want to eat my popcorn and drink my soda, even though it's our very first date. Oh, man, I tell you what. Pat says, I had a miniature I don't know what that is, Pat. Female hiding in my grandfather's vest while he was sleeping inside. Oh. Uh-oh, made him believe. Ugh. Y'all have a great day. Date, we will. Great weekend. Gonna watch a movie, play a game. Blessings to everybody. Ronald, Pat, Missy, Maria, Tim, everybody, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the kind words, liking, subscribing. Professor, we appreciate you. And have fun and no slumping. Slobbering, you mean? Good night, everybody. We appreciate you guys all. Ronald, as always, thank you for chiming in. Take care. I'll let you know how the first date goes, whether we go out on a second date or not. I'll give you an update. Tim, good to see you. Time to go watch some. Yeah, I'd like to watch a spaghetti western myself. So, all right, everybody, we appreciate you. Take care.